Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for the week of August 23rd. This week we are going to just jump right in here, Scorpio, and see what is going on for you at this time. But Scorpio, I'm using the 5-cent tarot, by the way, if you're wondering what deck this is. Some sort of breakthrough coming in for you here. You have the Ace of Swords, and, right away, I feel that there could be a breakthrough that you are having at this time. I would say, like, the water sign energy in general this week has been, like, somewhat, kind of like a breakthrough. So it's kind of like fitting in with the other water signs is what I would say here. But yours is much better. So good for you, Scorpio, because this looks really good. You have the sun here as well, major improvements. You start off with this a Grand Symphony card here. I feel like kind of like just more, I almost feel like world energy, kind of like the world can represent, doesn't really represent like a culmination, but it can kind of represent everything falling into place. And, I really feel this is just saying you're kind of in the flow, like you're resonating with everything that you're doing this week. So, could be like you being in a good, like, flow state at this time. And that's probably just going to lead to a lot of victories with the Ace of Swords here. So you have the Ace of Swords, the Ten of Wands, and the Six of Wands here. Again, major, the Six of Wands to me is a card of major success. Even in this diagonal here, you go to the Four of Wands, a celebration to the sun, like major happiness, success, good things happening for you here. So I like it. I feel like there's a lot of happiness coming in for you. You also show up as yourself here with the Death card in this bottom row. So you go Six of Wands, Ace of Cups, your emotions overflowing, being really happy, to the Death card. A lot, kind of like being in the strongest position that you possibly can be in as yourself. So I definitely like where this is going. But again, you have the Ace of Swords, the Ten of Wands, and the Six of Wands here. I feel that you are having a breakthrough with the Ace of Swords. Again, the Ace of Swords can represent a breakthrough. It literally says the word breakthrough at the top of the card. So I feel for a lot of you, this is kind of like some sort of breakthrough here. And I think it has to do with your vision is what's popping into my head. It's like, I feel like you are I'm getting a greater sense of clarity on this card. So you have clarity on something that you're trying to probably accomplish. And I would say something you've been trying to accomplish for a very long time with the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is like coming to the end of a very long journey, and it is a card of burdens and carrying a burden, but it is a card of accomplishment. Typically, on the Ten of Wands, it's like the guy is walking towards a village. He is about to release his burdens. He is about to put the heavy weights down. But I do feel a breakthrough here. Again, we're gonna clarify this at the end, but I do want more kind of clarity myself on what this breakthrough could be. I do feel like there's also a lot of attention coming in for you here with the Six Wands, so I like to see that, but I do feel this is just a success that you're having. It's like you're finally accomplishing something that you've been wanting to accomplish for a long time here, Scorpio. Next, you have the Butterfly Spirit. This card says transformation is beautiful, so clearly I feel like you're going through a major transformation at this time with this energy. You have the Five of Swords, the Four of Wands, and the Ace of Cups here. I feel like this Five of Swords, number one, there are two scorpions on this card here, Scorpio, but I also feel like this is more talking about surrender. Like, I feel like it's talking about surrendering to something. Sometimes I feel the Five of Swords is like only one way of doing things. It can say that you feel there's only one way to accomplish like a goal, a wish, a dream. And the Five of Swords says, like, don't get stuck just thinking in one way. To me, it can also represent just needing to like surrender to the moment, needing to allow something to happen in your life. And I do feel that energy here where it's just kind of like saying, allow something to happen, a good thing. This is clearly good. It's going towards the sun. So, that's what I would say there with the Five of Swords. I would, make sure to stay healthy this week as well. I do get this sense here on the Five of Swords of just needing to, make sure you're not getting burnt out, needing to make sure you're taking care of your energy, needing to make sure you're resting, relaxing, recovering, all those other good things as well. So I would just make sure to stay healthy. But you have the Four of Wands and the Ace of Cups here. The Four of Wands is a card of freedom. Normally, a lot of people say it's a card of marriage. It definitely is a card of marriage, but normally there are people who are celebrating on the other side of the Four Wands. It's kind of like a card of stepping through a portal. It is a card of accomplishment as well, because it does represent kind of bringing something to an end or wrapping something up, like completing a project or something. But again, it's also a card of freedom. I feel for some of you, kind of like part of the challenge that I'm feeling here on the Four of Wands is, uncertainty about the future, basically, or, I'm getting something popping into my head. I'm trying to clarify it in my head as well. That's why I'm stalling at the moment. But it's something about knowledge, like lack of knowledge. Some of you, it's like I feel like you're ready to be lifted up. Like, look, on this Voyage card, there's a whale lifting up another little baby whale here. I kind of feel for some of you, it's almost like you feel like there's a gap in your knowledge or your wisdom. But I actually feel like you're more ready than you realize. And I feel like you just need to go here with the Four Wands. So what the hell am I talking about? It's like if you're starting something new, or if you're trying to grow in your business, I feel like you need to go for it, whether you feel like you have the knowledge or not. I feel like this could be an opportunity as well, like in work or business. There could be a raise or a new opening. You might not feel very prepared for it, but I feel like you're way more prepared for it than you realize. So I would just go for it, and I wouldn't get caught up in the details. Like the type of uncertainty that I feel off this Four of Wands for you, Scorpio, is just the details. It's like things that don't matter, that probably aren't going to matter. It's like I think that sometimes maybe we do get an opportunity for a raise or promotion at work, but we're like, but what if this happens? What if I'm not smart enough? What if I can't do the job? And all this other stuff. Like I get it, but I would just go for it, is what I'd say to you, because I feel like this card is saying you are ready. For a small percentage of you, by the way, also the Four of Wands can represent leaving home, and I do feel like some of you could be doing that. But I feel like you're going to be very successful at this time with the Ace of Cups. Your emotions are going to be overflowing here with this card as well. So I feel like a lot of happiness coming in for you, mostly with that Ace of Cups. Definitely a major, a lot of celebratory type of energy going on here, Scorpio. So definitely, congratulations if you're getting a raise or a promotion. Next, you have this Voyage card. Again, I feel like you are being lifted up. I feel like this is what you don't realize. It's like sometimes at work or in business, we might not be ready for a raise or promotion. Or maybe we don't feel like we are, but there might be people, like you might have a mentor at work, or maybe your boss wants to see you do well. Maybe your boss sees something in you, and I feel like that's what you need to realize. It's like, I feel like there are almost people on your side who want to see you win. And that's what you need to realize here. Same thing in business. Like if you have a business, I feel like you might be starting something new and you might not feel ready, but I feel like there are just people who want you to succeed. And it's almost like I feel this sense of, people cheering you on here, Scorpio. And so I feel like there are just people who will support you no matter what you do, right? So I just do it, whatever you're thinking about doing here. Same thing in love as well. I do feel very supported in love. So for some of you, I feel like you already have love here. Could be taking it to the next level with the Four of Wands. Could be getting married, right? For others, I feel like you could be meeting a new person here. Clearly, Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups to me is like a clue for new love mostly. Ace of Swords is like online dating. So some of you could be meeting someone online. Could also be communication. So, someone could be just, communicating with you that they want to have love. And I wouldn't normally say that, but you have the Knight of Cups here. So you have the Sun, the Knight of Cups, and the Death card. Very, very positive transition here is what I would say to you. I feel like something makes you very happy this week with the Sun. I feel like there will be a marked moment that lifts your spirits is what I'm getting here. It's something that makes you feel very optimistic, as well as what I'm getting off of this Sun card. So I kind of like where this is going with this Sun card here. I'm just looking at it just to see if anything jumps out at me. But I feel for a lot of you that there is going to be one situation, like a win, this week that really makes you feel very happy. I do feel like it could be love related. Knight of Cups definitely could be a knight in shining armor coming in for you if you're looking for love. Could be a water sign as well. So I like to see that. But for the most part, I am getting the word romance here. But what I would say with the sun is I feel like this is like a romantic vision, if that makes sense. Doesn't have to be love. I feel like the Knight of Cups to me is dreaming about your perfect life. He is normally looking into the cup that he's holding, and he is dreaming of like what he could have in life or what he wants maybe in the future. It's like clearly something is making you happy this week. I feel like it gives, like you should be looking at that as fuel, like gasoline, right? I feel like you should be looking at the optimism as something that is motivating you to accomplish more in your life or to do something bigger in your life, especially with this death card here. For some of you, I feel like this energy that you're going to be getting because of something that makes you happy this week, the energy is going to be the thing that helps you maybe overcome something that you've been avoiding with the death card here. I do feel that for just some of you. It's like if you've been avoiding doing something or finishing up a project or something, I feel like the happiness is kind of like the thing that motivates you to get it done. I would be using your extra optimism as motivation. I would be using it as fuel. I talk about this all the time. On my channel, it's like there are just days where I don't want to do video. So sometimes I just don't do videos some days, right? Then there are days where I feel like doing 100 videos and I do like 40. So it's like, what I'm saying here is I would take advantage of the good feelings. Again, that's what I do in my own life. I know I'm a Pisces. I'm super lazy, right? So, I'm always looking for the easy way out. And what I would say here is that's what I do. I double down on those days where I feel really, really good. And on the days where I don't, then sometimes I get nothing done. Sometimes I only get a few done, whatever. Doesn't matter because I take advantage of the good days. And that's like what I feel is going on this week is I feel like you're either going to have a really good day or there's something that makes you feel very optimistic about the future. And I feel like you should use it as gasoline for, getting something done, basically. It could be working on a project. It could be communicating with a person that you're in love with. It could be anything, but I would use the energy, Scorpio. Scorpio, we're going to clarify this. I'm using the 7th sphere Lenormand here to clarify, so we're going to clarify and just see what's going on for you. Between the Ace of Swords and the 5 of Swords, you have the 8 of Clubs. This is called the Mountain. It is the perfect card to get right there because it is a card of like overcoming something that could be difficult or challenging. So I feel like some of you could be kind of climbing a mountain here, 5 of Swords. This would say don't give up, but it would also say, the 8s in the Lenormand can say that there are other ways of doing things. So, just realize that there are other ways of doing things here. Between the 10 of Wands and the 4 of Wands, what do you know? You have the Ring. The Ring is a card of marriage. This is the Ace of Clubs. And you have the 4 of Wands right there. So some of you could be meeting someone that you could have a very long commitment with or a very strong commitment with here with that Ring card. I also like the Ring because there's always like a figure 8 at the top here. It's going to be hard to see, but the figure 8 kind of represents, a perfect exchange of energy. Even if you don't want to get married, the Ring is a very good card of accomplishment. It is like a card of things coming full circle, and the 4 of Wands is also a card of accomplishment as well. So is the 6 of Wands. With the 6 of Wands and the Ace of Cups, you have the Anchor. The Anchor is a 9 of Spades. It's actually a pretty good card. It can represent like pulling up your anchor, putting it down somewhere else. It could represent a new commitment. So for a lot of you, definitely could be a new commitment in love. This looks like something permanent to me. I don't know what's going on with you water signs, but like all of a sudden, within like the past 2 weeks, love has kind of, it just feels different to me in the water sign readings, I would say. So I don't know, like some people, I feel like some of you might be getting more serious about it. For others, I just feel there could be a person coming in that you just can't ignore, just something that's like too good to pass up on. So, that's kind of like the feeling I get. And it would be something permanent. It would be someone who's serious as well. So, definitely a very good connection to go for. Between the 5 of Swords and the Sun, you have the Tower. The Tower in the Lenormand is not like the Tower in the Tarot. The Tower in the Lenormand is more a card of clarity. It's like a card of seeing something. Like, the Tower stands above the clouds on this card. So it kind of represents clarity, just like the Sun. The Sun shines a light on things we need to pay attention to. The Tower in the Lenormand kind of is like a beacon, is something that stands out, something that is almost that we can almost work towards in life. It's kind of like not really guidance, but it's like a point. It's like, imagine if you're trying to be successful in business, but you don't know what to do. The tower stands up and it's like, oh, I need to go in this direction. Same thing in love as well. Between the Four Wands and the Knight of Cups, you have the Garden here. Everybody's been getting, the Garden's been coming up like crazy. The Garden is the Eight of Spades. It is a card of only seeing one way of doing things. So again, I would just realize there are multiple ways to do things in your life. It is a card of needing a rest. So it's like, if you remember what I was saying about your health here, if you feel tired, if you feel exhausted, if you feel like you need a break, take a break. I would definitely, rest, relax, recover, heal, do whatever you can here. Between the Ace of Cups and the Death card, you have the Ten of Diamonds, the book. The book is a card of like hidden or secret knowledge. So, there could be like a lot of success coming in for you here with the book. There could be a lot more abundance coming in for you with the book as well. A really good card, the book. It can definitely represent, a lot of success, happiness, just good things coming in for you as well. I also feel like there's I do feel there could be some sort of harvest, but it's like you're going to have to find the knowledge here. I do feel, we had Saturn in Capricorn a couple years ago now, and, what I think people need to realize is just because a planet leaves a sign doesn't mean that we're not still dealing with the energy. It's like, especially with these outer planets, like, again, Saturn won't be back in Capricorn for another, like, 27 years, or, somewhere around there. And what I would say is, it's like we're going to deal with what we learned until it gets back to Capricorn in 27 years. So it's like, Saturn Capricorn sometimes I think is like profitable education. But Saturn Capricorn basically points out gaps in knowledge where it's like, if we don't know something, it's like, hey, like go figure this out so you can be successful. And that's kind of like what the book represents. Normally on a book card, the book is closed. And it kind of just says, you need to do your research. It can also point out areas where it's like, with Saturn Capricorn, so maybe a couple years ago, there were situations where if you had learned something, you would have been a lot more successful. There could be other opportunities that are appearing in your life right now where it's like saying, learn about it as quickly as you can so that you can be successful. Top row outcome, you have the cross. The cross is like the Ten of Wands, right here. It is a card of having a cross to bear. It kind of has two pieces of advice. It says, do not carry burdens that do not belong to you. So, make sure that you're not carrying the weight of other people. It can also say that you're kind of like getting to the other side. You are kind of getting to something much better in your life. But it's like you maybe you've made sacrifices. You've been, it's kind of like having a cross to bear. It's like Jesus carried the cross, right? And that's not a religious statement, by the way, but I'm just saying that's what the card represents. And so it can say that you've carried a burden for a very long time, but it's like you're about to get to your reward. So definitely a very good card. Middle row here, you have the Queen of Clubs. This is called the Snake. It can be a card of seduction. I feel like you are very attractive at this time, especially with the Sun right here. This to me would just say, like, I feel like that's your energy, the Queen of Clubs. So if you're looking for love, I would, get out in public, basically. And bottom row, you have the Rider. You're like, I think Cancer also had the Rider in the same exact position. Could be a Cancer coming in for some of you. The Rider is a card of like a knight in shining armor. So there definitely could be love coming in for you with the Rider. It can also be a card of a wish as well. But this is a pretty good reading. I like where this is going. Definitely some sort of victory coming in for you. 2 aces here. You actually have 3 aces, but 2 in the tarot. To me, 2 aces is a definite yes, but I feel like there's a lot of happiness coming in for you here. So love it. So thank you for being here, Scorpio. Really appreciate it. But definitely enjoy your week.